So, if you've got a Google smart home device, something pretty huge is changing, like right under your nose. It's this massive upgrade, and it's happening quietly inside the gadgets you use every single day. Let's break it down. Okay, you know that voice, right? The one you asked for the weather, or to play your favorite song, or maybe just to set a timer. It's become a pretty familiar part of the house for a lot of us. Well, what if I told you that behind that same old voice, the actual brain that powers it has been, well, it's been swapped out for something totally new and way, way more powerful? Yep, that's what's happening. Google is actually replacing the core tech of the Google Assistant with its super advanced AI model, Gemini. And look, this is not just some small update. We're talking about a complete overhaul from the inside out. Really, the best way to wrap your head around this is to think of it like a brain transplant. Seriously, the personality, the voice you hear, that might all seem the same. But the intelligence, the sheer processing power, and what it can do, that's on a completely different level now. So what does this mean for you day to day? Honestly, your routine doesn't change. You're still going to say, "Hey Google." The big difference is that the thing on the other end that's listening and answering you is now one of the most powerful AIs on the entire planet. Okay, so you're probably asking, why now? Why this huge fundamental change all of a sudden? Well, to get that, we actually have to go back in time, all the way to the start of the whole voice assistant race. So picture this. It's 2016. The whole thing kicks off as a big race to compete with Amazon's Alexa. But after that first big push, things kind of went flat. The technology just stagnated for years. The real game changer? It was this recent massive explosion in AI. That finally gave Google the horsepower it needed to make a truly revolutionary jump. Yeah, for the longest time, the smart home world was just this two-horse race, right? Google and Amazon. And both of them built their assistants on a pretty simple model. You give a command, you get a response. And yeah, it was useful, but it wasn't a real conversation. They basically just hit a wall. And this is exactly where Gemini comes in and just changes the entire game. The whole idea is shifting from talking at your devices to actually talking with them. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. You remember this, right? The old way? To get your room ready for bed, you had to do this series of totally separate, kind of robotic commands. It worked, sure, but man, was it clunky. And just not how people talk. I mean, this was the process. It was so tedious. You'd give a command, wait for it to finish. Give another command, wait again. It just completely broke the flow and made doing anything, even slightly complex, a total chore. Okay, now compare all that to this. Just one simple conversational phrase. This is what Gemini makes possible. It can actually understand the intent, the context, behind a normal sentence, just like a person would. And really, that's the whole point, isn't it? You don't have to think like a programmer anymore just to talk to your own house. You can just string a bunch of requests together, describe a whole situation, and Gemini just gets it. All right, so I know what you're thinking. When can I get this? And that's a great question. The thing is, it's not happening all at once. Google has a pretty specific rollout plan. But here's the good news. You can actually experience this new Gemini-powered brain today, right now. Google's already started putting it into its newest products. Which ones? Well, we're talking about the latest Nest cameras and a brand new smart speaker. So if you go out and buy one of those, you are getting that new conversational AI straight out of the box. Okay, but what about the classic Google Home speaker? The one that, let's be honest, a ton of us already have sitting on a shelf somewhere. Well, for that one, we're going to have to be a little patient. Yep, you're saying that right, 2026. The plan is for the flagship Google Home speaker to get its Gemini brain transplant in early 2026. It's a really clear sign that this is a phased rollout, and they're starting with the brand new hardware first. You know, all of this brings up a really interesting question. As these incredibly powerful AI models move into our homes, are we just making our devices better listeners, or are we starting to build homes that can actually, think? It's definitely something to chew on the next time you say, "Hey Google."